Talking options. I like to talk options. Sweet.
Bam, welcome back to Talking Options, where I teach you how to trade options, giving you some better options than the options that you had before. What's going on this week? We had the winter solstice, and we also had the solar eclipse that just happened. So there's a lot of powerful energy that's happening right now in Sagittarius, or what you would probably know as Capricorn. Either way, there's a lot of energy right before the 2020 year. And the main thing that I'm trying to figure out is how we gonna manifest some market money in 2020. Now, I made a previous video talking about the fact that we have a webinar that's coming out on January 5th, and you're definitely gonna wanna be in one of those seats, because I'll be talking about how you can generate up to $1,000 a week. And honestly, that's kind of conservative, given the fact that you can make a lot more money than that, especially when you start talking about more advanced strategies with options trading. But for beginners, how you can start to learn and earn at the same time. Learning these 3 simple steps and how I trade what we call God, which is just basically talking about the metals, the energies, and the currencies, or what we call other people's dollars. So that's really what I'll be breaking down in that webinar. But before we even get there, I just want to talk about some of the trades that I'm in right now and what the market is doing right now. So one of the main things that we saw over the past 2 weeks in December is British pound. That thing took off, and I know a lot of Forex traders lost and may have blown their accounts because, let's just be honest, they don't know how to hedge in the way that you can with options trading. See, what happens with a lot of Forex traders is you're trading on an unregulated broker. So you using a stop loss, they probably didn't even look at that thing. If your order probably just went straight through it when you saw the British pound take off in the way that it did. And here's the thing, many Forex traders may not have the amount of capital to be able to deal with those type of losses and hold it and wait for it to, pull on down a bit. So many of you guys, again, blew through your accounts because you didn't know how to hedge. See, the beauty about options trading is that in situations like that, we can hedge our risk doing spreads, doing neutral trading strategies. And if you're not neutral, you can simply do things like short options, which I haven't talked a lot about on this page because it's probably a little bit more advanced for people to get. But short options is talking about how we can get paid to trade, how I can borrow money from the market and basically do the same thing as a long call, a long put, but I'm not paying now. Now I'm collecting money and saying that I believe that the position is going to go in a certain direction. It's a little bit more risque, but if you understand how to deal with spreads, we can definitely hedge that loss or hedge any of that potential risk. Now, what's happening with the market right now? We saw a lot of volatility again with the British pound. It spiked up like crazy. What could you have done, and what have we been working on with Talking Options on how we can generate income around that? Well, when we see something like that, what do we know has to happen in the market? Especially when it spiked up like that over some fundamental news over Boris Johnson being elected with the UK. Okay, what we know is going to happen is there has to be some sort of retracement. Now, we don't have to take a naked position and say, oh, I'm just going to do a long put. No, we can do a bear call spread. We can do spreads and use that to hedge our risk in case of anything, but at the same time still make money on the downside. Now, the British pound isn't the only thing that I saw a lot of volatility with. Also with corn. Right now I have some bearish positions on corn. I actually sent out an alert on this. So if you haven't seen our Talking Option alerts, go ahead and text Talk Options to 31996 and you can sign up for it. And I send out an alert probably every week, 1 or 2. We sent out ones with corn, we sent ones with Apple, we even sent ones with Tesla. So not only futures options, but stock options as well. And again, many of them have been winners, and it's because we are using fundamental analysis and technical analysis to use that to hedge and understand why the market is doing exactly what it's doing. Another thing is gold right now. It's at an all-time high. And what we're seeing, especially looking at technical analysis, is that it's reached a deviation level, and that's just talk about probability with options, into where we are expecting some sort of down movement, especially in the next coming weeks for that spike up that we saw with it. So that's one thing that we also have our eyes on, is the fact that gold right now has been trending up for the past couple of days, and we're expecting some sort of down movement. So what we're doing in that case is we're doing some counter trend trading. Now again, you can simply do a long put, you can do a long call. By doing that, you know the max that you can lose. But we can also step it up and we can do spreads where we're doing multiple strategies so that we know how much we can lose and we also know how much we can gain, but there's a higher probability. And that's the greatness about it, because now we can hedge our risk against time decay, against theta, which is something that we also talk about in that webinar. So if a lot of this information is very new to you, very fresh, again, I suggest you sign up for that webinar that's going to be on January 5th, where we're going to be talking about how you can make market money. I love the way that sounds. I actually think we need to make a t-shirt out of that. If you want a t-shirt out of that, go ahead and comment below. I think we'll get some made. Some talking options, make market money. I like that. I like that. Well, if you like the way that sounds, again, stick with us because we're going to have that webinar that's going to be on January 5th. I'll be sending out alerts on some upcoming trades with gold, with natural gas, with the British pound. Again, this is about how we can trade God. That's a lot of the futures, different underlines that we're talking about with metals, with currencies, with energies. We may even dibble and dabble into some of the agricultures because we know that those are volatile as well. Those are some of the different underlines that we're trading here at Talking Options. So stick with us and stay tuned.